Next, it's the boys basketball state finals. Today's broadcast of the MHSAA Finals is made possible by Farm Bureau Insurance, sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award. True Value Hardware, promoting good sportsmanship through the Good Sports Are Winners program.
From the Breslin Center on the campus of Michigan State University, it's the boys basketball Class C state championship between Orchard Lake St. Mary and Grandville Calvin Christian. Hi everyone, I'm Rick Berkey. We're halfway home. 2 champions crowned, Covenant Christian in D, St. Clair Shores Lakeshore in B. We still got this one to go and see. Then later tonight at 8 o'clock, Detroit Murray Wright and Detroit Pershing battling in the Class A championship. You know, emotion is a big part of any state championship, but none more so than the Class C matchup right here. Orchard Lake St. Mary trailed by 17 points late in the third quarter before rallying to pull out a dramatic win in the semifinals yesterday. Calvin Christian, a different kind of emotion. Not only are they playing for the school's first ever basketball title, they're playing for a fallen comrade. During warm-ups yesterday's semifinals, reserve forward Keith Corhorn collapsed on the floor with a seizure. However, he was kept overnight in a hospital. He's released this afternoon, and he's now on the bench right now. Let's go down to Tim Staudt and Vernon Payne for a closer look at this one.
Okay, Rick, this is the third game today. As you say, Orchard Lake St. Mary's has just one starter. They're a cardiac team. They've come from behind. They were 20 down on the regional final. They were 17 down yesterday, rallied to win. Calvin Christian is 97-8 the last 4 years. They've won 5 straight district titles, so this sets up a big final today.
This is a tremendous basketball game for both basketball teams, and as you indicated, Tim, Orchard Lake St. Mary's never led in the semifinal game until the middle of the fourth quarter, and came off very strong, played tough defense, controlled the boards. David Bowens was outstanding on the glass as he came up with 12 rebounds, I believe, and 13 points.
Okay, let's go to Eric Seth for the starting lineups of this afternoon's C final game.
And proper perspective and educational athletics. Because in the end, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, but that you play the game. And now, let's meet the starting lineups for today's game between the Eaglets of Orchard Lake St. Mary and the Squires of Grandville Calvin Christian. For Orchard Lake, at forward, 6'2" senior, 22 Neil Parker. For Calvin Christian at forward, 6'3" senior, 30 Ben Verbeek. Orchard Lake St. Mary at forward, 6'2" junior, 23 Darrell Adams. For Calvin Christian, 6'3" senior at forward, 54 Kurt Quaker. For Eaglets at center, 6'4" junior, number 4 David Bowens. Center for the Squires, 6'7" senior, 44 Rob Veldhaus. At guard for Orchard Lake St. Mary, 6'3" junior, number 5 Diallo Johnson. For Calvin Christian at guard, 6'1" senior, 24 Greg Van Dyken. The other guard for St. Mary, 6-foot freshman, 14, Kylo Jones.
Come on, Red.
For Calvin Christian at guard, 5'9", senior, 32, John Stuckey. Head coach of the Eaglets, Dennis Butcher. Head coach of the Squires, Tom Vanderlaan. Officials for today's game, Rod Gazzetti, and Robert McComb. All in it is Joseph Perrin.
Okay, so there's Tom Vanderlaan, and here are our officials for this afternoon's Class C state championship game. And it's nice to have you with us wherever you are across the state of Michigan here on PASS, the Michigan High School Basketball Championships. Tim Staudt along with Vernon Payne. Vern, we saw these two teams yesterday. Grandville knocks out an unbeaten team in Centerville. And doggone if this Orchard Lake St. Mary team just keeps coming back and back. They struggled all day yesterday, and then they rallied to win.
Well, I think this Orchard Lake St. Mary's team is playing well because they played against great competition all year long. They lost a 3-point game in the regular season to Detroit Pershing, 70-67, and played very tough against St. Martin de Tours, winning that basketball game by 4 points. So this is a team that's played against good competition.
Tom Vanderlaan in his 11th year. He's only had 2 losing seasons at Calvin Christian, 25-2 coming in. Calvin Christian in yellow. The Eaglets of Orchard Lake St. Mary are in red. Nice to have you with us. Here we go. This is the 3rd game of the day, and we're underway at Orchard Lake St. Mary. We'll go on offense to start. His team beat Iron Mountain undefeated yesterday, 56-53, and right out of the chute, David Bowens gives his team a quick lead.
David Bowens is a ton, and you've got to front him and then get some help on the backside if you're going to have a chance to stop him.
You're going to see an awful lot of turnovers more likely in this game because Calvin Christian won yesterday by 19 and made 28 turnovers, but that seems to be the genre we're in today in these games.
I think that both of these clubs also enjoy the up-tempo basketball game, Tim. They're going to look to run. As a matter of fact, Calvin Christian's going to look to run out a player on a made or missed basket and try to throw it up court very quickly.
The 2 games previous today had a number of turnovers in the first minute, if not the entire game. You get all that energy as you look at the, well, briefly look at the starting lineup. At any rate, we'll keep passing these players on to you. The big guy in the middle here, Rob Veldhuis, 44, is the tough guy for Calvin Christian. Who's on the board now. Ben Verbeek scores, and we're tied at 2.
Ben Verbeek is the leading scorer for Calvin Christian. He's averaging 17 points a game and 6 boards. He can post up inside, and he can go outside and hit the 3-point jump shot.
All right, St. Mary's Daryl Adams is 23 on the double team. They nearly lose it. And underneath, wide open for the layup is Diallo Johnson. He scores, and it's now 4-2, St. Mary leading.
This St. Mary's team is very interesting. They started a freshman, 3 juniors, and 1 senior, as compared to Calvin Christian's 5 seniors.
Yeah, it's an experienced club against one on its way up. And Orchard Lake St. Mary, despite all those losses, 7, none by more than 6, and they lost to Detroit Pershing by just 3 at the end of the regular season. And they're off and rolling. Daryl Adams hits 2, and so right out of the chute, 3 for 3 for St. Mary, and it's 6-2. Calvin Christian was a B school and lost 2 years ago in the championship game at the Palace to Saginaw Buena Vista. Well, now they're C. That'll make them that much tougher. Checking into the ball game now is Kyle Ball. Hold it. Aaron Miller, number 32, a 6-foot junior, is in.
I spoke with Coach Vanderlaan last night, and he was very, very afraid of Orchard Lake's quickness. And at the beginning of this ball game, that quickness has really paid off for Orchard Lake.
Well, it didn't take Aaron Miller long to get into the flow. He fired one up 5 seconds in, misses. As I say, with all that energy and adrenaline flowing, these teams are going right at each other early on. A little 10-footer right in the middle. And that one is up and in by Daryl Adams. He has 4, and it's quickly 8-2, Orchard Lake St. Mary.
Orchard Lake has done an excellent job of generating some wide open shots in the transition game. They're jump shots, but they're wide open shots and shots that they should be taking.
Out of bounds, there's a turnover. Rob Veldhuis can't hold on. And so Tom Vanderlaan can't be very happy with the way his team has started.
Well, Calvin likes to put pressure on, and as a result of Orchard Lake's speed and quickness, I think they're laying back and they're not playing their game.
And there's another turnover. That ought to get an easy layup here for Calvin Christian. And indeed, Greg Van Dyken is up to the task, and it's 8-4 now. Had good crowds all day today, and this one's got a big house too. Well over 11,000 are in here. And tonight it's the A game between Detroit schools Murray Wright and Pershing. You'll see that live here on Pass. This kid looks good. This Darrell Adams is he's posted 3 beautiful shots.
He's a player. He catches the basketball well, squares up, gets his shoulder square to the basket, and when he does that, he's very, very tough with the ball.
As you say, they got some speed on this Orchard Lake St. Mary team, and Calvin Christian is going to have to get back on defense.
Absolutely.
So it's 10-4, 4:57 to play here in the first quarter from the Jack President Student Event Center in East Lansing. The inside, nice move.
Nice. Strong catch inside by number 54.
Kurt
Corker, and he did an excellent job of facing the basket, showing the basketball, stepping through, getting the easy shot.
Well, it's a 10-6 game early on. This is by far the best start that we've had on these 3 games today among teams that are hot. Beautiful move by David Bowens inside, 4 for him, and it's 12-6. Ball's out of bounds, and it goes back to St. Mary.
Now, Calvin Christian, that was a very key play. They're going to try to get Orchard Lake St. Mary's back on their defensive heels by running a player out on a made basket or a missed basket. And here we see Dave Bowens going in, making a strong move for the 2 points.
Okay, we'll get you some substitutions that are in. 5 turnovers now for Covenant Christian here in the first 3.5 minutes of the game. Number 30, Kyle Baldwin, is in the game for St. Mary now inside. And David Bowens is making a living in there. He's got 3 easy ones, and it's 14-6 here in the early going, Orchard Lake St. Mary.
Tom Vanderland's going to have to make some adjustments with David Bowens. You cannot let him catch the ball low.
Well, he's going to get a lot of pressure there if they don't stop him. But at the other end, Mike Mott, number 40, off the bench is in, and he scores, and it's 14-8. He joined us late today. It was 13-13 at halftime of the B game. Vernon and I, our clothes almost went out of style waiting for points to be scored. This game's a little different, and the last game was different. But that was a thriller, 38-37. From the free throw line, David Bowens, he's been shooting at these rims all his life.
I think playing the semifinal games here have helped all of the basketball teams. They're familiar with the background.
And a couple of blocks, and Calvin Christian will get it back. Bowens is only a junior. He had 18 points in the quarterfinals, 12 in the semis, and he's averaging 13. Vern?
He's 6'4", 215, very quick for his size, great leaper, great athlete. He's going to make a difference in this basketball game down low if Calvin doesn't make the adjustments.
Okay, so it's 16-8 early on. Little Wiener is up and in. A nice shot by Ben Verbeek. That's 4 for him, and it's 16-10.
Ben does a nice job off the dribble with his jump shot. That's a tough shot when you're moving towards the basket, you're not squared up, and he can knock that down.
This time Bowens is guarded on the double team, but that leaves Diallo Johnson open for his 4th point. And quickly a steal at the other end of the floor. I'll tell you one thing, if this team got off to a slow start in the past, it isn't today. Everything. That's Kylo Jones who knocks it down. He's only a freshman, a 9th grader in the starting lineup, and it's 20-10 at the 2:43 mark.
Dennis Butcher's done a fine job of talking to this basketball team and getting them ready to come out playing tonight as compared to last night.
I'll tell you, he may be the most successful coach in the family before he's done. His dad's Donis, the former Pistons coach. And Donis got to be proud of Dennis. He's got his team playing some superb offense, and of course they've had a great season.
Dennis has not only got his team playing great offense, but they've managed to get pressure on all of Calvin Christian's shots up to this point. They haven't given up any easy baskets except for the one transition basket underneath.
I'll tell you though, Vern, I could coach and win if my guy shot 83%, and that's what St. Mary is. 10 out of 12 so far here in the first quarter.
And the reason why they're 10 out of 12 is because they're taking good shots. They're getting squared to the basket. They're not forcing things. They're not taking bad shots at all.
42% for Calvin Christian, 5 out of 12, respectable, but they're 10 down now, and that's the biggest lead for St. Mary in the game. Once again, inside for 3, and thank heaven for Ben Verbeek for Calvin Christian. He's now got 7 points, and it's 20-13.
Well, Dave Bowens is winning the battle inside with Rob Veldhuis, and that means that Ben Verbeek has got to step up and play a game this afternoon.
And the drive inside, good move, but a foul as Darrell Adams went down the lane, and before the shot, Adams will go to the line. I believe that's our first foul today. It is.
He makes a nice move here towards the basket, and the defense does not get set. They don't get squared away. And here we go with another angle. They're on the side of him. He does a nice job of drawing the foul.
Kurt Koiker gets the foul. First one of the game at the 2:03 mark, so up and down the floor, they've let him play quite a bit. There's a good shot of Tom Vanderlaan, who played on a state championship team at Western Michigan Christian in 1970. Went on to play at Calvin, got a master's degree here at Michigan State. And so he has a long history of basketball coaching and very successful, I might add, as well. We have we're going to get something squared away at the scorers table as you get a good look at Darrell Adams. And into the game here, number 4, David Bowens, who, I don't know what happened over there. Maybe his chin strap broke, who knows. So it'll be a common foul inbounds here. Maybe he just got a play from the bench. That one doesn't go, but there to clean it up. It still doesn't go, and it's pulled down by Kurt Koiker. Now Calvin Christian wants to run. They finally go. Rob Veltos, he scores, he's fouled, and the basket counts.
Rob did an excellent job that time of keeping his balance. He got hammered pretty hard here, as you'll see. Goes in strong, gets hammered, keeps his concentration, makes the 2 points.
That's Kyle Baldwin on the foul for Orchard Lake St. Mary. First foul against the Eaglets. And so you get a good look now at Rob Veltos, who had 22 points and 12 rebounds in the semifinals yesterday of his team's comeback win, or his team's win over unbeaten Centerville. They just could not stop him. Big, tough, good-looking kid.
Rob does a real fine job down inside. He's a good post player. Handles himself well, doesn't make too many mistakes.
6-point run now for Calvin Christian, and they get a turnover, and so the Squires, as they're known, will get it back. That's 6 turnovers now on Calvin Christian and 3 on Orchard Lake St. Mary. Obviously, St. Mary's hasn't had quite the success offensively here in the last couple possessions, and Calvin Christian's hit some shots. That wasn't the best one to take, and it's pulled down by Kyle Baldwin. Diallo Johnson all the way. Nobody stops him. He scores, and he's got 6.
Diallo takes it all the way. He's his own outlet pass, own rebounder, own fast break guy, takes it all the way and gets an easy layup.
And the points have come quick and often here in the first quarter. Another three-pointer is poured up and in by Ben Verbeek. 2 3-pointers, 10 points in the first quarter.
One problem that Orchard Lake's having right now is success. When you have that much success shooting the basketball, you really don't have an opportunity to run your offense. And when you're forced to do that sometimes after having initial success, you're out of sync.
That shot is no good by Diallo Johnson, and Calvin Christian with a chance to pull within 1 or tie. Verbeek down the lane, and that one doesn't go, but Millhouse, and it's pulled away by St. Mary. And we're inside a minute now at 40 seconds to go. It's been a good 9-2 run here by Calvin Christian, and on the back, and that'll go against Orchard Lake St. Mary's David Bowens, his first.
That one pass and successful jump shot, or one pass and power move inside is great when it's going. Here we see the drive on the baseline and the short jumper, and the foul coming against Dave Bowens.
Okay, into the game now for Calvin Christian, number 22. And he isn't even listed among their top 10 guys. That's Rob Grutais. He's a 6'1 senior, so as you can see, they take Ben Verbeek out, let him get a little breather here. So perhaps we're in the last possession. And Calvin Christian has done well to get right back in this game. They were 10 down at 20-10. Now it's 22-19.
They certainly have. Coach Vanderlaan has done an excellent job with this club, and there's no...
Off-balance leader by Kurt Koiker. That's 4 for him, and it's a 1-point game here inside 10 seconds. Now, whether that's they're going to get a 3-pointer off the buzzer, and that doesn't go. Is it going to be put up and in? And it won't fall. And the Calvin Christian crowd is happy. They got back in this one, 10 down at 20-10. At the end of 1 quarter, it's now Orchard Lake St. Mary 22, Calvin Christian 21. One of your network sponsors is True Value Hardware.
What a first quarter in the Class C final. Orchard Lake St. Mary comes out red hot. Marshall Thomas, they hit 10 of their first 12 shots.
Completely different from the way they come out yesterday. They were a little bit slow coming out. Maybe they thought about it and decided they better come out red hot tonight.
But to their credit, Calvin Christian down by 10. They finish a fine 50%. They're back in within 1.
Rick, a lesser team might be down by 15 or 20 points or more, but they held their poise and they hung in there.
Both teams want to run, a little bit of pressure as well.
Exactly. This is going to be again, it's looking like it's going to be one of these up-tempo games throughout the whole. Let's see who comes out on top.
We'll watch it. Let's go back to Tim and Vern.
Calvin Christian shoots 53% for the season, so they're used to good shooting. They're at 50%. Vernon Payne. There's a good look at David Bowens, the junior, who had 8 points in the first quarter.
They're at 50%, but Orchard Lake St. Mary's is shooting 58%. So both teams are playing very well offensively.
Yes, they are. 22-21 to score. St. Mary in the lead. Eaglets have won 3 state championships in the past. None for Calvin Christian, although, as I say, they were in the finals 2 years ago before losing to Buena Vista and played them tough all the way. But now that was B. This is Class C. Inside, there's the little jump move, no good, by Rob Veldhouse, and it's pulled down by David Bowens. He's running the other way with it. Orchard Lake St. Mary. Hooked onto the college down in the Metro Detroit area. That one off the glass, no. And it's saved by the Eaglets and then out of bounds. Bowens couldn't quite save it. He handed it off there to Darrell Adams, and they say it was on a line.
Calvin Christian made a defensive adjustment at that timeout. They went to a 2-3 zone, and that kind of surprised Orchard Lake. And Orchard Lake pulled it out and got a flash move inside and eventually turned it over.
Now the Squires up court the ball, looking to take the lead here. And Veldhouse underneath is being checked by Diallo Johnson. You got 2 big kids on each other, 165, 167. So they're close to physically the same.
Veldhouse has got the edge in size, but I think Bowens has got the edge in strength.
No shot clock in high school basketball, so they can take forever to get the shot that they want. And that's it. From the corner, Ben Verbeek, and that's an air ball, and it's pulled down out of there by David Bowens. So Orchard Lake St. Mary the other way with it now. 6:52 to go, still no scoring in this second quarter, and into the game now for Calvin Christian. Mike Mott, a senior who's scored 2 coming so far in this game. And also back in for St. Mary is Aaron Miller. He checks in, and Kyle Baldwin will go out. There's a good look at Aaron Miller, 6-foot junior, and Miller goes out.
Calvin Christian stays in his own defense.
Now, is that a 3-point free throw attempt here? Let's wait and see, because foul went to send Darrell Adams to the line. No, they're going to call that a common foul before the shot. Okay.
Oh, he fouls the screener.
He assaulted him.
He gets the screener back into the shooter.
Well, aren't those police over there somewhere?
That's one way to destroy a screen.
Yes, it is. You can't go around, go through. But they're playing hard, and that's what you expect. Mike Mott got that foul. That was his first one. Well, Mike's a 6'3" senior, and you can't get pushed around in there if you're going to do well. He weighs 200 pounds, so he's going to hold his own. There's another foul. That's John Stuckey who picks it up, his first, 3rd team foul, and that's a shooting situation now, and Darrell Adams, a 78% free throw shooter, will go to the line for 2.
I think that the zone defenses have an impact on Orchard Lake. They've slowed down, they're tentative, they're not attacking the basket as much as they did when Calvin was in the man-to-man defense. They've got to adjust to that zone and still play their game and keep the tempo where they're comfortable.
All right, Dennis Butcher, you just saw he looks just like his dad. 50 years younger, but it looks like him anyway. Adams 2 for 2, 8 points for him now, and it's 24-21. So, and St. Mary will pull a pressure on here. .35 to play in the second quarter. From the corner, Veldhouse shot won't go, and it's pulled down by Kylo Jones, who goes the other way for the Eaglets. No, he gets his man open underneath. Nice play by Darrell Adams to come in from the baseline. They found him and got it to him.
Absolutely. Kylo Jones is not playing like a freshman. He's playing with a lot of poise. He handles the basketball very well. Keeps his head up, sees the floor, and hits the open man.
And Grandville Calvin Christian wants to talk it over. 6:09 to play first half. St. Mary by 5. Be back in a moment. This is the MHSAA on Pass. Tim Staudt with Vernon Payne back at the Breslin Center. Class C, 6:09 to go, first half. Vern?
The penetration here in the pass by the freshman down low to 23, Darrell Adams, was an excellent play. Again, Kylo Jones is not playing like a freshman. He's playing like an upperclassman.
So here we go now. Calvin Christian with that timeout. Let's see what adjustment they make. They have not scored here in the second quarter in the first 2 minutes. And that's what they want right there.
Right there.
That's what they're looking for, and Rob Veldhuis has 5, and it's a 3-point game.
They showed great patience that time, worked the ball on the perimeter, took it to the left side of the floor. Veldhuis got position and scored a short jumper.
That's why you call timeout. Set that up, get your kids to do what you want them to do, and Tom Vanderlaan's a good enough coach, he knows that. And they get the turnover back. That's what they want. And that's an open 3, won't go. And it's pulled down out of there by Diallo Johnson. Well, you look at this team of all underclassmen but one, and you say, see you guys next year. Maybe not in this game, but darn close to it. 5:18 to play in the first half. Calvin Christian, a senior-dominated team. They're laying it all out on the table here today. Inside, and Veldhuis is fouled. He had position on Dave Bowens, and that's his second foul. And there's a little bit, or is it Bowens, or is they going to give that a 14? No, I think it's 14. That'd be Kylo Jones.
Beautiful pass from Kurt Quaker down inside to Veldhuis.
So once again on the line will be Rob Veldhuis. He's 1 for 1 from there today. As you can see, back into the game for St. Mary is Kyle Baldwin. And they'll take out the freshman Kylo Jones. Man, 9th grader. 3 more years of this, huh?
Three more years. Playing very well right now, Tim. I mean, he's not playing like a freshman, as I've said before.
Neil Parker, the only senior in the playing group, 22 now, back into the game for St. Mary. Take a look at Veldhuis. Rob Veldhuis, as I said, has had a big week. 14 points in the quarterfinals, 22 yesterday to go with 12 rebounds, and he averages 14 per game.
And he shoots 72% from the line.
So he's a nice technique. He gets 1 out of 2. 6 points for him now, 26-24. St. Mary by 2. All close games so far today.
Calvin Christian switched back to the man-to-man.
They rotate the ball nicely on this offense. And Diallo Johnson can't find it, and then the foul is called, and Daryl Adams will go to the line for the Eaglets, and he likes it.
Joe did a real fine job that time of crashing the weak side board. Anytime the ball goes up from the baseline, the rebound is usually going to come across the basket, and the youngster did a real fine job of crashing the boards and picking up the foul.
That's John Stuckey who gets the foul, his second. And out of the game now is John Stuckey with those 2 fouls. Into the game, Calvin Christian, Greg Van Dyken, the senior. So here's a good look at Daryl Adams, only a junior, and he already has 10 points today. I say, if you don't get recognized today, you're going to see him in the future.
I think you're going to see a lot of this basketball team in the future. They're very well coached. They can play fast. They can play slow. They've got good athletes. They board very, very hard, and they play good defense. So
here's another one, 9th grader Kylo Jones in. He'll replace Diallo Johnson, who goes out and take a rest. 27-24. It's a well-played game so far, not nearly the turnovers we've seen in these couple of days. And the rebound back to St. Mary. Kyle Baldwin does his job. Here's Bowens from the top of the key. And it's pulled down by Rob Veldhuis. Calvin Christian on the attack, looking to get within 1 or tie. And there's their man. Rob Veldhuis is there. He scores.
Same play. Kurt Quirker to Rob Veldhuis. High-low. 2 big guys going to each other inside.
8 points for Rob Veldhuis. It's a 1-point game again. Just imagine the Eaglets here in red. They were 20 down to Detroit DePorce in the regional final and then won it in overtime, 78-74. Three-pointer outside won't fall from Kylo Jones, and Calvin Christian had a man. Oh, he caught up with it, and he'll lay it up and in. And that's Joel Bluekamp coming off the bench, a 6th man, and now Calvin Christian has regained the lead at 28-27.
And Calvin Christian is very comfortable releasing a player on a missed shot and running him down the floor.
And their defense has picked it up much better. A little shot up, nice touch by Dave Bowens, 10 for him, and it's 29-28. They might as well just put this thing near the 1-minute mark and let them go at it, because it looks like it's going to be that close all day. Rebound, Kyle Baldwin. He's had a couple of rebounds in the last minute. Underneath, they got his foul. Neil Parker will go to the line. Excuse me. Who snuck in there on us?
Number 22
snuck in there on us. That is Parker. I had him right the first time.
His first 15th foul.
So on the line will be Neil Parker, the only senior in the playing group. He shoots free throws like I do at times over, and he's a 31%er.
He gets to the line, though.
But I tell you, I'd kill for his youth.
Daryl Adams made a real fine play there, getting the ball down low to Neil. Neil did a good job of taking it to the basket.
Joe Bluekamp got the foul. That's his first. So here's Parker, as you can see. Well, you know, I mean, sometimes the stats don't lie. They'll calm him down a bit.
Daryl Adams has got to be very careful here because Calvin Christian will attack the basket on a make or miss with a deep pass and a quick up.
And they get 1 out of 2, and they're happy to get that from him. 30-28, St. Mary by 2. So Neil goes out. He was in for a blow. Diallo Johnson now comes back on the floor, along with Aaron Miller. Backcourt pressure relaxed. 3:26 to play in the first half. Eaglets by 2. Three-pointer from outside, not quite to go by Ben Verbeek, and it's pulled down by the Eaglets. And a baseline jumper is up and good by Aaron Miller, his first 2, and it's a 4-point game.
Daryl Adams got the rebound, took it all the way down the floor, kicked it out to the baseline, got the assist on the jumper. Very fine basketball player.
After going down by 1, 5-point run now for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. You got a guy inside. There's their man. This time, Veldhaus on the second try, puts it up and in.
Did a nice job of staying with the shot. Didn't bring it down after the miss. Easy 2.
10 points for Rob Veldhaus. He and Verbeek each with 10. They have 20 of their team's 30, and it's St. Mary by 2. Tipped out of bounds. That's a turnover. It'll go back to Grandville Calvin Christian right in front of the bench. Used to be had trouble to get kids cut their hair. Now they don't have any problem cutting it at all.
Score is 32-30. The young Eaglets have got to have some patience now. It's a tight basketball game. They're playing against a veteran basketball team. They've got to show some patience offensively.
6 turnovers on St. Mary now. 2.5 minutes to play here in the first half. And there's Veldhaus. 12 points inside. They've done such a good job in this quarter getting it to him underneath and we're tied.
And it's been Kurt Corker each time that's gotten the ball down low to him. Veldhaus has got to buy him some hamburgers this evening.
Yep. 3 points from outside. Clanks off the right by Aaron Miller, and Calvin Christian with a chance to regain the lead. 2 quality teams. 3-pointer outside is poured up and in by Kurt Koiker, and he now has 7 points. A 3-point lead for Calvin Christian, the Squires, and a timeout by Orchard Lake St. Mary with 1:46 to play. Quality play here in the first half. Calvin Christian by 3. We'll be back in a moment. One of your network sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance. Tim Staudt with Vernon Payne back here. I don't know how many people live in Grandville, Vern, but most of them got to be here. It's the biggest crowd from one community I've seen in the 3 games today.
They've got a nice following here this evening, Tim, and the kids are playing well. Here we take a look at that baseline jump shot by Kurt Corker. You got to realize that Kurt is 6'3", 200 pounds, stepping out on the perimeter, knocking down a 3-point jump shot.
Shooting is everything. St. Mary's started 10 of 12, and since then is 4 of 17 for an overall total of 48% respectable. But when you cool off, obviously so does your total, and that's why now they're behind 3. They want to go back inside, and Rob Veldhaus picks up his first foul.
That was a nice call by Coach Butcher. He wanted to get the ball down low inside, and they did a nice job of passing off to Diallo Johnson. Goes straight up, draws the foul.
Diallo has all 6 of his points in the first quarter. He's a 61% free throw shooter, only a junior. He had 11 yesterday in the semifinals, 15 in the quarters. He's averaging 15 a game.
He averages 8 rebounds also, Tim.
Johnson gets
Plays
2.
tough inside and can pull up and hit the short range jump shot.
We'll watch him shoot 2 here. 7 points now, 2-point game. In fact, free throws, they are now for the day 5 out of 7 for St. Mary. And this to pull the Eaglets within 1. But they get the offensive board. Still won't go, and it comes out of there to Calvin Christian. And the whistle and a foul going the other way. And Calvin Christian's going to go back on offense.
Darrell Adams.
That's Darrell Adams' first personal foul, 4th team foul on Orchard Lake St. Mary. You can see the backcourt pressure. They spring a man long, and how can he catch up with it? And he does. Ben Verbeek hangs on. Minute 25 to go. Stay with us at halftime. We've got some live features for you. Whistle and a foul first before the shot. And that was Kurt Koiker trying to take it to the basket.
And did a real fine job with that. Kurt is deceptively quick as he puts the ball on the floor with his left hand, splits the defense, penetrates all the way, makes the basket, but was fouled before the shot.
Diallo Johnson's first personal foul inside. There's Rob Belthouse. He's making a living in there. He has 11 of his 14 points in the second quarter.
And who passed the basketball to him on the baseline again? You guessed it. Kurt Koiker.
That's the biggest lead for Calvin Christian today. 37-33, just before Aaron Miller hits a two-pointer to cut it in half.
This is a very well-played basketball game by both teams, Tim.
Yep. Inside they go, look for the big guy, and it's loose and it's pulled down by David Bowen. So now they have a chance to tie or take the lead. There's their man. He's wide open for the little easy layup inside. Darrell Adams, and we're tied.
Diallo Johnson made a great play. Got his body under control, stopped, made the bounce pass, 2 points.
13 points for Darrell Adams. He averages 16, a big first half. Now, as you can see, and there's the steal. This could be our first dunk. Oh, no, he meant he was going to save it for us. Diallo Johnson, 9 for him, and right back up on top on a 6-point run is Orchard Lake St. Mary.
Diallo has really done a fine job here of picking his game up in the last couple of minutes.
That was an unfortunate turnover because they would have gone off tighter of the lead, maybe. They still might. But not with passes like that. 8 seconds to go, 4 on 2. And a fling and go, but the follow-up is up and good by Diallo Johnson. That's 8 straight points at the half, and we have come to the end of the first half. Orchard Lake St. Mary on an 8-point run. They were down 37-33, and the Eaglets will go off at halftime, leading 41-37 over the Squires in yellow of Grandville Calvin Christian. So what a finish to that second quarter, and what a second half we have coming up. We'll be back with our halftime activity in just a moment. Watch Diallo Johnson on the steal. This is the MHSAA on pass.
Today's broadcast of the MHSAA Finals is made possible by Farm Bureau Insurance, sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award. True Value Hardware, promoting good sportsmanship through the Good Sports Are Winners program.
At halftime of the C final, up and down we go. A lot of exciting plays, and Orchard Lake St. Mary has a 4-point lead over Calvin Christian, 41-37 at the intermission. A little bit later on in the half, we've got a special interview with Jack Roberts, the executive director of the MHSAA. We want to make sure you join us for that one and find out a little bit more about what's going on behind the scenes here as the state finals come back to MSU. We talked a little bit about the areas and different areas. The Grand Rapids area, of course, having a big weekend with 3 teams here in the finals. In case you're wondering, no team, no area has ever swept all 4 titles. However, there were 3 different times where an area had 3 schools win championships. The Kalamazoo area won 3 titles back in 1932. The Upper Peninsula won 3 back in 1956. And the Detroit area won 3 in 1990. So that's a look at how it goes by area. Let's see what happens later today. We'll take a break and come back with more. You're watching the MHSAA on Pass. Halftime of the Class C championship. You see Orchard Lake St. Mary, the Eaglets on top by 4 over the Squires from Calvin Christian. Being joined now by my special guest, Executive Director of the MHSAA, Jack Roberts. And Jack, of course, the talk this weekend of the single site, the semifinals and the finals back here. And I know there's been a great tournament atmosphere all weekend long here.
Yes, and it's a customer-friendly atmosphere. People have been able to come here Thursday night or Friday morning and stay on through and see one another. There are some people that I've observed that are in the same seats today, right now, that they were in Thursday night and gotten to know everyone around them.
You know, it's easy to focus on this event, but there's a lot more going on this weekend than just basketball.
Yes, this is a busy time of year. This culminates a winter championship season in which we had champions crowned in 8 different sports. And this culminates it, of course, with the boys basketball tournament. But there's lots of other things going on with the MHSAA, and this week we had our representative council meeting. That's our legislative body. really looking ahead to our major meeting in May, where we'll have major topics of rules and regulations, and scholarship issues, sportsmanship issues, quite a bit on our plate right now.
You mentioned sportsmanship. It continues to be a high priority.
It does. We have a multi-faceted program. It's a program of education where we try to raise people's awareness of what is proper conduct in educational athletics. We have a program of enhancements where we actually have an awards program for our best sportsmen at the regional and district and championship levels. And we also have to be concerned with enforcement when people don't measure up to the standards that we need in educational athletics.
We talk a lot about sportsmanship in the stands, but actually some rules being discussed, policies regarding intimidation and taunting out on the field.
That's right. Our equity committee back in October helped us to define taunting and urged us to enforce it more sharply across all sports. And so our representative council in May will be considering a very comprehensive definition of taunting and a uniform application of it across all sports.
And the health and safety issues, again, stays right at the top.
Always have to be concerned with that. And this year, we are beginning to implement our weight monitoring program in wrestling, which is a combination of regulation and nutrition education.
Back to the sportsmanship issue again. Jack, what do you say to the folks that say, well, trash talk, that's just part of the game?
Well, it's a bad part of the game, and what happens is that the talk turns to physical intimidation after a while. So if you can cut off the bad sportsmanship at the verbal level, then I think you can get rid of it at the physical level, which is a dangerous thing to have in educational athletics.
And I know I've seen you out among the folks this weekend. What kind of feedback are you hearing from people about being here at the Breslin and MSU all weekend?
Well, they really do enjoy it. They feel that they've been able to come here and see their friends. They kind of feel like it's family here today, and I have trouble making it down an aisle at a halftime. I want to get all the way down to the bottom, and I can't. There's too many people to meet and greet, so I think people are having a good time just as we are.
Jack, we've enjoyed your involvement here since you came to Michigan and head to the MHSAA, and we look forward to working with you many, many years.
Thank you very much, Rick.
That's the executive director of the MHSAA, Jack Roberts. We're at halftime. Orchard Lake St. Mary with a 4-point advantage over Calvin Christian. 2 champions already crowned, Covenant Christian in D and St. Clair Shores Lakeshore in B. Stay with us here. One of your network sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance. St. Mary's with a 4-point advantage over the Squires of CC at halftime of the Class C final. Rick Berkey alongside with Marshall Thomas once again. My guest analyst, Marshall, the varsity basketball coach at Saginaw High School. Second quarter, the pace changed dramatically except for the final couple minutes.
Yeah, you know, we speak of this game as being a game of spurts. Orchard Lake started off real fast. Then they had a downside when they shot maybe about like 2 of 15. You would think that they would have been out of it. But then in the last about a minute and a half or so, they seem to take the momentum back. I think going into this third quarter, whichever team can really get the momentum going may stand a good chance of winning this ball game.
Usually, Marshall, we see in the opening 2-3 minutes, teams kind of feeling each other out. You know, I still get the feeling, watching after a full half, that these teams are still doing a little bit of feeling out each other.
Well, yeah, filling out, but they're actually in stages playing pretty good. It's just that, again, we talk about spurts. When the shots are falling, you're having some good spurts. When the shots are not falling, you're having some bad spurts.
I want to follow up on my interview with Jack Roberts. We talked about some of the rules and policies they hope to implement regarding trash talking and taunting. Now, as a varsity coach, what are your feelings on it?
There's no place in the game for anything such as taunting or what have you. We speak of a player being remaining focused all the time. When you're talking about taunting and what have you, you're losing the team concept. You're worried about your own individual self, and there's no place in the game as far as I'm concerned for that.
And as a coach, do you find that's a real challenge for you in telling the kids one thing when among their friends maybe they're hearing something else?
Sometimes, but I think you have to just keep being repetitive of that, and then when the kids know that you'll accept certain things, they'll go along with you.
Okay, so again, halftime, a 4-point advantage for Orchard Lake St. Mary. We'll check out after 3 quarters what's changed. In any case, keep it right here. You're watching the MHSAA on Pass.
Tim Staudt with Vernon Payne back here at the Jack Breslin Student Event Center. That tells the story at halftime of our Class C championship game. We've got some statistics we can look at here, Vern, which, like everything else, pretty much tell the story. And one thing is the shooting in this first half has been pretty good by both clubs.
The Orchard Lake St. Mary's has scored 51% on the field goals, and Calvin Christian 47%. Both got close to the same number of shots, 35 and 34. Free throws, Orchard Lake is ahead 63%, 67%, but they shot 8 free throws compared to 3 for Calvin Christian. Rebounds 19-13, turnovers 6 and 7. Now that's a far cry from the 28 turnovers that Calvin Christian had last night in their win. Both teams, I think, have elevated their games this afternoon and are playing fairly well.
Yeah, and of course they had 28 turnovers right here. Calvin Christian did in a 19-point win.
Absolutely.
And here they're 4 down and they've only committed 7. But they're playing a tough club that is hardened by a tough schedule. You could make a case for Tom Vanderlaan would tell you that he knew Orchard Lake St. Mary was going to be tough just because they played such tough competition. And remember, Orchard Lake St. Mary in red lost by 3 to Class A finalists tonight, Detroit Pershing, at the end of the regular season. So that tells you all you got to know about how good this team is. Okay, Tim Staudt with Vernon Payne back here as we're set to go now with the last 16 minutes of this C championship game. It's anybody's ball game. Both clubs have led on a couple of occasions. And as we begin play, the Eaglets have the basketball and they have a 4-point lead. They've scored 8 in a row and they turn it over to start. They were down by 4 and they turn it over and get it back.
Get it back again.
And inside, that produces a layup by Neil Parker. He's got 3, averages 2, so he's over his average. The only senior in the playing group for St. Mary. So they've scored 10 unanswered points now, dating back to the final few minutes of the second quarter. That streak was close to ending, but not quite. As Rob Veldhuis is fouled, and that foul turns out to be, frankly, a good one by Darrell Adams because it just saved 2 points, at least initially.
And Orchard Lake St. Mary's put a full-court press on. Calvin Christian took the ball down the sideline. Veldhuis sprinted the middle of the floor, and they got him the ball in good shape for the layup.
Dave Bowens is the guy who committed the foul, his second, so let's see if they stop that run now. Veldhuis is 2 for 3 from the line today. 14 points in the first half.
Dennis Butcher changed his strategy at halftime. He's extending the floor right now defensively, and he's trying to put some defensive pressure full court on Calvin Christian.
Rob Veldhuis now. No, can't do it, but the putback is up and good. And that one goes to Kurt Koiker, and he has a big putback. 43-39, ending the 10-point run by the Eaglets. Inside baseline is there for the taking, and then a foul call. Good drive by Diallo Johnson down the line.
Diallo Johnson does a real fine job here using his quickness. Gives us a little fake inside, goes baseline, gets by the defense, and lays it up with his left hand, draws the foul.
Greg Van Dyken gets the foul, his first. And that's the first foul in the second half on Calvin Christian. Well, there's a little Donis Jr., Dennis Butcher. Good-looking young man who's played at Milford Lakeland High School, senior year 87. Then he went to Orchard Lake St. Mary's College. That figured. Got a master's at Wayne State. Vern's proud of that.
Absolutely.
And Vern was a coach at Wayne State for a while before going to Western Michigan. Free throw good, as you see, by Diallo Johnson. 12 points for him now.
We're getting an excellent opportunity to look at youth versus experience, but we have a youthful team here with a lot of talent.
Well, Diallo Johnson gives Orchard Lake St. Mary a 6-point lead now. Calvin Christian with just 2 losses on the season. Conference champion coming in. This thing 97-8 in the last 105 games.
That's pretty good playing. I don't care what level you're at.
I don't care who you got. That's tough to beat. End of the game now for St. Mary, Aaron Miller. And he replaces Neil Parker, who got him 2 points while he was in there in this third quarter. Little turnaround left-hander. Pretty sweet there by Ben Verbeek.
That was a big-time move by Ben. Jab step, got inside the defense, and spun out and shot a short left-hand hook shot.
He's got a dozen now, and it's a 4-point game. This game has been short on both turnovers and fouls. They've let them play, and they've managed to both of them stay out of foul trouble. And they've been looking inside, and that's one of the few that's been missed. And it's pulled down by Kurt Koiker. So Oh, here comes Calvin Christian. Verbeek looking for the angle here. And there's their man Veldhouse in the score. He can make a living in there today.
Excellent job. They ran that sideline fast break, posted Van Verbeek up on the ball side, then reversed it and caught him on the help side.
Veldhouse is 7 of 13 today for 16 points, and I guarantee you most have been right inside. Little flip, no. And Ben Verbeek screens his man, throws the home run ball. It's one-on-one. Greg Van Dyken gets his fourth, and we have a tie game at the 5:54 mark.
Smart basketball by Calvin Christian, negating Orchard Lake speed by running out.
That ends a 6-point run. Kylo Jones.
And we have another run out.
A foul is called, and that'll put Calvin Christian on the line. And going to the line will be Greg Van Dyken. So a 3-point lead again for St. Mary after Christian had scored 6 in a row. That foul will go against St. Mary's Aaron Miller, his first. And that's the second team foul this half. And on the line now for Grandville Calvin Christian, Greg Van Dyken, a 6'1 senior. He's only a 54% free throw shooter as you take a look at Aaron Miller sitting down.
You cannot relax against Calvin Christian defensively. It doesn't matter whether you make or miss. You're always looking for the opportunity to get the basketball up the floor very quickly.
And Dyken averaging 6.5 points a game, so he has 5. If his average means anything, he'll miss this one. 48-46, 2-point game, and now St. Mary with a lead in the basketball. And that's just speed on not quite as much speed. And the winner is Diallo Johnson. Speed kills, Vern. There's nothing about it.
Well, if you use the speed to your advantage, and Diallo certainly uses his speed to his advantage, all you've got to do is get a step on the defender and get a shoulder inside, turn the corner, and he's got to foul you.
Greg Van Dyken, he used what God gave him, and it wasn't quite enough speed there, and he got his second foul. 5:31 to play, third quarter. Orchard Lake St. Mary by 2 over Grandville Calvin Christian. And it's been pretty much that close all day long.
It's been a good basketball game, Tim. Both teams are playing hard. Both teams are playing smart.
14 here, a 9th grader. Kylo Jones, only a freshman, with not freshman moves, believe me. Shots batted away by Rob Veldhouse, and his teammates have it. And so back up the floor is John Stuckey. And they turn it over. And that's a break for St. Mary. That's 9 turnovers now on Orchard Lake St. Mary as John Stuckey heads back up the floor. John's mother's here today. Said he's been thinking about playing on a state championship since he was in the 4th grade. Well, he's living his dream then today.
It's been on his mind a long time.
It's a long time, but again, he's living that dream, and what a dream it would be come true if they can win. 4:56 to play, third quarter. Eaglets by 2 with the basketball. This move inside, not quite the angle, and it's pulled out of there by Ben Verbeek. They love to hit the cherry picker down there, and they get Greg Van Dyken free. He has 5 of his 7 in this third quarter.
Excellent transition basketball team.
Tie game.
Here goes 24 down the floor again. They miss him on the outlet pass.
The Lions would like to have a quarterback that can throw that accurately that long. Here's Ben Verbeek for 3, and it doesn't quite make it. And Veldhouse scores. He's fouling the basket house. Rob Veldhouse, a big day for him, and he gives Calvin Christian a 2-point lead.
Kurt Corker is an excellent passer. Here Kurt catches the basketball, keeps his head up, gets it down inside to Rob. Rob turns and hits the short jump shot.
Kyle Baldwin with his second foul, 13 foul, and so Rob Veldhouse will go to the line. He is 8 for 14 from the field, 2 for 5 from the line today. Playing his final game for Calvin Christian. What a career he's had, obviously, when we tell you he's won a district championship at least every year he's been a varsity player.
Got a nice touch at the foul line, too, Tim.
5 of his 19 here in the third quarter. 51-48. Calvin Christian trailed by 4 at the half and is having a big third quarter. They're up 3. Kylo Jones is left open on the slip, but he can't make it go. And Ben Verbeek with another rebound. He's having a big day on the glass. Now has 4 rebounds, 3 in this quarter. Here's Verbeek for 3. 54-48. And Grandville Calvin Christian is running it up here in the third quarter.
And they've done it basically with transition and fast break basketball.
It's been a 17-6 third quarter here for Grandville Calvin Christian. Not like a three-pointer to get the crowd going wild in a high school game or any other for that matter. There's 5 rebounds for Ben Verbeek. Well, this quarter has been good for Calvin Christian. Verbeek dumps it off, and Fieldhouse slams it down. 56-48. Calvin Christian is in the lead, and look at their bench.
We got to be thinking timeout here if you're Coach Butcher. You got to cut this up.
Dennis Butcher says, "I've seen enough." With 3:09 to go in the third quarter, a 10-point run for the Squires of Calvin Christian.
Verbeek takes the ball inside, very strong, draws the defense, drops it off inside to Rob. It's a 2-inch shot.
You know, this game isn't that tough. When you can get it inside of your big guy, that's where your money is. It's still a big man's game if you get it down there.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't miss too many of those, can you?
Well, that's a 2-inch shot, but you've got to give a lot of credit to Verbeek and to Quirker. They've done an excellent job of getting the basketball down low to Veldhouse. They run the floor very well, and this is a very well-disciplined basketball team because they play a lot of transition basketball, yet they're patient enough to either get the ball down inside to the big man or take a wide-open jump shot on the perimeter.
Calvin Christian is shooting 56% today, and Orchard Lake St. Mary at the moment is at 45%. But this is a 10-point run before that timeout. So the Squires are on a run, but as you look at Orchard Lake St. Mary, this club didn't take its first lead yesterday till there were 3.5 minutes to go against an undefeated team. And they've been down before.
They've been down before. They've been down against good basketball teams before. I think right now they've got to settle down and run their half-court offense, but just as importantly, perhaps more importantly, they've got to stop giving Calvin Christian the opportunity to get easy baskets by running a man out and throwing the deep pass for the layup.
There's John Stuckey, 32. There's Dennis Butcher, the head coach. He called time, very controlled coach. You don't see all those theatrics from a lot of them that are in the college and pro ranks. In fact, none of these coaches today have had the theatrics. That's probably why they're all winning, too.
Absolutely. They concentrate on what they have to do.
That shot won't go, but the rebound comes back to St. Mary's, the Eaglets, and they're just as sure as there's a timeout, they get something to go their way.
And they got it in the paint from the freshman.
Nothing like the little freshman to make the move, and that cuts the run, and he'll go to the line.
Kylo Jones does an excellent job here of keeping his shoulder into the defense, the post player, and then shooting the ball outside of the defense so that he couldn't get to it. Here the shoulders into the defense, keeps the ball outside. Nice little baby jump shot, baby jump hook.
Rob Veldhouse has his second foul, so here's Kylo Jones, a 63% free throw shooter. He has 7 points today. This is his first trip to the line. Just look at him and picture him 3 years from now.
Great inside move.
Great inside move, 2 more. Dave Bowens hits it. And it's a 4-point game. Verbeek is off balance that time, and it comes out of there to Kylo Jones. 3-on-2, the numbers for the Eaglets. And the speed as well, and Kylo Jones hits it. And it's a 2-point game. Every time someone has called timeout in this game, it's been for the profit of the team calling the timeout.
Absolutely. I think both coaches have done a real fine job of adjusting both offensively and defensively during those critical timeout situations.
That's going to be who's going to get? That's going to go against Grandville Calvin Christian. An elbow there by John Stuckey, his third. So it's a 6-point run since that timeout for the Eaglets. We look like geniuses when we say they're going to come back. They've been behind, and sure enough, now they've got the ball again with a chance to tie or take the lead.
We look good, Tim, but they've done it all year.
And Kylo Jones is 4 out of 7. The freshman has fired up 7 shots today. I'm going to get real familiar with his play because we're going to be talking about him for some time. On the turnover, Calvin Christian will bring it back. Here's Tom Vanderlaan. I suspect when he won a title as a player, Vern, 24 years ago, he had a few more hairs on his head.
Again, Orchard Lake St. Mary's extends the defense. They're looking to put pressure on.
And there's the turnover the other way. Nice, sweet move, but doesn't quite go. But the follow-up is going to get him a 3-point play for David Bowens.
David Bowens does an outstanding job here, taking the basketball all the way to the hole. Strong, avoids the charge, angles around the charge so he doesn't get that, follows up his shot, goes up strong, gets hammered, and powers it in.
Ben Verbeek on the foul. The game is tied. It's an 8-point run for St. Mary's. with a chance to take the lead. This is just athletic ability right here.
We see him steal the basketball. This is a good move here where he avoids the charge and then stays with the shot, powers it up, gets hammered there. 2 points.
He wanted the offensive rebound to go on the stat sheet, and he got one. He has 5 of his 15 in the third quarter, and now it's a 1-point lead for the Eaglets of St. Mary. Foul called against the Eaglets. Aaron Miller, his second. Still not in the 1-1. A 9-point run. So it's been a game of spurts. 10 points before the half or around the half by St. Mary's. Then 10 points by Christian. Now 9 points by St. Mary's.
Marshall Thomas talked about that during the break. He said this is going to be a game of spurts, and both teams have got to match spurts.
Super game. It's going to be a thrilling ending here. 57-56. Big crowd on hand at the Breslin Center. Turnover. Eaglets on that 9-point run. Here comes 2 more. And it's blocked beautifully by Veldhuis. But again, St. Mary's scrap it away inside. Look at him go for it. Still tries it back. Bowens over 2 guys. No. 3 rebounds, and finally it falls in by David Bowens.
Tremendous effort. Tremendous effort. They stayed with that offensive board, did not quit, did not give up. Got 3 or 4 putback attempts and finally got it down.
And credit to the officials for letting them play on that sequence. 3-point game. What a run it's been here. An 11-point run for Calvin Christian, or for St. Mary's, for a 3-point lead now. Minute 15 to go in the third. That'll end that run. Veldhuis is open. They get it to him. He has 9 points of his 23 in the third quarter.
Veldhuis is doing an outstanding job of creating passing lanes and making it easy for the perimeter players to get the ball down inside to him.
He's their money player for sure, and he's having a big day. There's the turnover. And so now Calvin Christian will have a chance in the final minute of the third quarter to go back in front. There won't be many people at the red lights this afternoon in Grandville. They're all here.
Calvin Christian has really done a fine job of picking up their defensive intensity during the third quarter.
Shot from Cypher. Is poured up and in by Calvin Christian's Joel Bluekamp. Off the bench, he has 5. And is he fouled as well, or does it go the other way? It gives his team the lead.
It goes the other way. I believe there was a foul on Calvin Christian. The 3-pointer counts.
Yeah, that counts, and the foul goes against Calvin Christian, apparently, and so who gets it? But they'll take it anyway.
The foul apparently was down inside. Once the shot went up.
After the shot.
His second 16th foul.
Well, let's see here. They're going to let him post it, and we'll get it accurate here. It's a foul against Calvin Christian. Basket counts. And, well, we'll see what it is here. Okay, 61-59. Kylo Jones. That one's off, but back there's Bowens, and he's fouled. And that one will go against Mike Mott, his second. It's a shooting foul.
David Bowen started on the perimeter around the foul line, split the defense, got inside, and got to the glass. Here we see that play again. Shots up. Bowens comes in on the weak side of the floor, splits the defense there, and gets the ball up. Excellent basketball play.
All right, now Calvin Christian has 7 fouls, so from here on out, Dennis Butcher's team will be shooting. So 2 shots here for Dave Bowens. He's having a big game today, 17 points. And he is down 2 for 2 from the line, and it's a 61-60 Calvin Christian lead here in the final 32 minutes of the third quarter. I didn't think we could top our first game today for excitement, but this one's going to be right there, it looks like. And Veltema on the rebound, and so now, and then it's stolen away right away. Bowens looking for the angle. Oh, is there any block for that? None.
No block for that, but credit Kylo Jones with staying with the play, the young freshman, and getting the ball to Bowens.
It's a 1-point lead for the Eaglets in the final 17 seconds of the third quarter. St. Mary's wants to prevent a shot here. It was a 4-point St. Mary lead at the half. Underneath, they got a man open. That's rejected away by Diallo Johnson at the 6-second mark.
Diallo came from the top of the key, down on the block to make that block.
He hit that so hard he almost deflated the ball. High feed to Veldema. The inside, little one off the glass, and it's up and in. Rob Veldhuis hits it. 11 of his 25 in the third quarter, and at the end of 3 quarters, Grandville Calvin Christian will go off the floor here for the timeout with a 1-point lead. It's Grandville Calvin Christian 63, Orchard Lake St. Mary's 62. The fourth quarter is coming up from the Breslin Center in a moment. This is the MHSAA on Pass.
Try to catch your breath and get ready for the fourth quarter. What a game we've had so far in Class C. A 1-point advantage. Marshall Thomas joins me. Series of spurts. Each team goes on an 11-0 run as we go to the fourth quarter.
It's almost like each one is saying to themselves, we won't be beat. You know, we've had crowd chanting, we won't be beat, we won't be beat. These teams are playing like that.
As we go to the final period, Marshall, what's the best thing each team has going for it?
Perhaps a willingness not to give up. We've got 2 exciting big men leading both their teams heading into this final quarter. Let's see who gets the best of them.
Well, Tim and Vern mentioned we didn't know if we could top our Class B games for a finish. We just might. Let's go down to them and find out what happens.
And we'll look here at the replay of that blocked shot if we have a chance here as we start the fourth quarter. I mean, wait till a dead ball here. High feed inside. Veldhuis can't pick it up. And so Orchard Lake St. Mary down by 1 with a basketball in the final quarter here this afternoon at the Breslin Center. One more big game tonight at 8 o'clock, the A final. Now the pass to himself here, and then it isn't quite going to go for Darrell Adams. Veldhuis with a rebound. Big game for him today. That was Veldhuis' 6th rebound. Inside, and it's up and in. And the little guy for Calvin Christian, Joel Bluekamp, off the bench today with 7 points. He came off the bench yesterday and got 14, and he had 19 off the bench in the quarterfinals.
And again, they do it with the transition game.
65-62 inside, in and out. No good, tough break for St. Mary's, but they'll get it back. Dave Bowens with 20. He had 10 in the third quarter and just missed that one. Good shot inside there of Kurt Koiker.
Dave Bowens got 20 points, 11 rebounds, and Veldhuis got 25 points. Those are 2 young men we wanted to feature at the beginning of the show, and they are playing well.
That could be a turnover, and it is, and Calvin Christian will take it back. St. Mary couldn't quite get its act together on the inbounds. And then on the out-of-bounds play, that's a big collision over here in front of the Calvin Christian bench. Let's make sure everybody's okay.
David Bowens showing tremendous hustle. He not only went after the loose ball, he tried to save it and gave his body up and took out a couple of judge seats over there.
Well, when you practice since November to get to this game, you're going to let it all lay out here on the floor today. And there he goes. Everybody's okay. Play is back in. 65-62, Calvin Christian with a lead on the basketball. Here's Veldhuis around his man, no place to go with it. And they're looking for him. Pass is denied. Nice play defensively by Diallo Johnson all the way, and he's fouled. I'm not sure that Greg Van Dyken agrees with the call, but he gets his 3rd foul. There's Greg. He doesn't agree with it. It's the first time I've seen someone disagree with him.
Here we see Diallo going to the basket. The defense slaps him across the arm. There's no question about that.
So on the line now is Diallo Johnson. He's a 61% free thrower, 3 out of 4 today. Good-looking player, 13 points, and he'll shoot 2. This team is down by 3 at the 6:52 mark. Dennis Butcher talking with his staff. He's got his arm on Kyle Baldwin over there with him. Kyle's going to check back in here if this free throw is good. On the rebound, it'll come back to St. Mary. So all is not lost. The 3 outside, no, and it's pulled down by the Squires. Greg Van Dyken, and it's tipped away. Calvin Christian to get it back. So here comes Kyle Baldwin into the game. And let's see, we got to send one of these guys out. Diallo Johnson will take a rest.
Dennis used his bench very well last night. As a matter of fact, he played his bench 37 minutes in that win. I think he's going to give his kids some rest here for the push down the stretch.
Now the possessions become very important. Calvin Christian turns it over, 4-on-1. Speed may do it here, and then there's a foul. And perhaps that saves a basket by Joel Bluekamp, his 2nd. Calvin Christian now starting to pile up the turnovers. They have 16 now, compared with 11 for St. Mary.
Daryl Adams catches this lead pass here.
Bluekamp is second.
Bluekamp really committed a good foul. Otherwise, they're going to have 2 points scored there by Orchard Lake.
Yeah, this game leads the day and guys laying all over the floor. There have been a lot of people spilling all over the place. But again, you don't practice from November to this and then not let it lay out there on the line. So here's Daryl Adams on the line. He is 3 for 4 today. He's their best free throw shooter, 78%.
Gets the roll.
Adams' first point in the second half after a 13-point first half.
Orchard Lake has got 4 guys on the line and 1 defensive player back. And in this situation, if Calvin runs 2 guys out, they'll have them outnumbered in transition.
2-point game for Calvin Christian with 6:20 to play. Squires with a basketball. They keep looking for Veldhuis down low, and there's the off-balance shot. Not what they wanted, certainly. That was impatience.
That was impatience. That was one of the poor shots that they've taken this game. They haven't taken very many.
When they take their time and get it to the big guy, they've had success. Off the floor, no, he tripped and fell. Dave Bowens, that hurt his shot. Back the other end, Veldhuis. 27 points. And a heck of a collision between the cheerleaders and David Bowens. 27 points for Dave Veldhuis.
Veldhuis is doing an excellent job of running this floor. He was determined to get that basket from the time he crossed the foul line here.
Dave Bowens trying to stop Rob Veldhuis. Rob got up there, 27 points for him today. And so it's a 4-point game. Now St. Mary has to, and again, when they got it into him, why, you know, those shots are hard to miss.
Absolutely.
And he didn't miss it.
Absolutely. Those are the 2 inches you don't miss.
He's 12 for 18, shooting 67% today. He gets the good ones. Inside jumper is up and good by Daryl Adams. When they needed it, he's got all 3 of his team's points in the 4th quarter. 2-point game.
Showed good patience there with the penetration. Squared his shoulders and took a really good shot.
Calvin Christian, 5 of its 8 losses the last 4 years have come in the last game of the season in the tournament. Still looking for that first.
This is where Calvin Christian is tough. They've got good ball movement, good player movement. They break the defense down. They get the ball down inside the Veldhuis. They're really dangerous in these situations when they got player movement and ball movement.
4-point lead, 29 for Rob Veldhuis, who's closing out a great career here today with a big final game. But it won't mean anything to him unless his team wins. Inside, nice play. And Diallo Johnson cleans it up. He has 15, and it's a 2-point game again.
Credit Daryl Adams with throwing the defense and then giving a nice pass.
15. Johnson is 6 for 17 from the floor today, but he's hung in there. And he has 8 rebounds. Remember, they didn't take their first lead, St. Mary's did until yesterday at the 3:30 mark in the 4th. Veldhuis for 31, no. And it's pulled down by St. Mary's with a chance to tie or take the lead, 4:15 to go. Was rushed a bit, but it gets back to St. Mary and a foul. And traveling is called first. Tough break against Dave Bowens, who looks a little tired, Vernon. Well, they all should be at this point.
Well, Dave Bowens played 32 minutes last night. He didn't come out of the basketball game. And he's got to be a little tired right now, but he's still playing pretty strong.
69-67, Grandville Calvin Christian with a lead. They were down 4 at the half, but had a big 3rd quarter. They outscored St. Mary 26-21. Inside 4 minutes to play. Quaker is fouled. Kurt Quaker will go to the line, and the clock will stop at 3:51.
Diallo Johnson commits the foul here.
It's his second.
Kurt goes inside, and Diallo gets him across the arm.
Kurt Quaker is a 71% free throw shooter. However, he has not been to the line today. He has 9 points.
Quaker gets 2.
We'll take a good look at him. He had 12 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists in the semis. 3-point game, and a timeout on the floor is called. We're down to 3:51 to play. Tom Vanderlaan wants to talk it over with the Squires, who are looking for their first ever state championship. We'll be back in a moment. One of your network sponsors is True Value Hardware.
We're going to have an opportunity here to look at this Rob Veldhuis dunk. Rob really runs the floor well. They get the ball up to him in good shape. He goes in strong, keeps his eyes on the basket. Short 2-inch shot.
Tim Staudt with Vernon Payne back here at the Breslin Center as we're in the home stretch of this Class C state championship game. Kurt Kuiker will complete the second end of a 1-and-1. He now has 10 points. As you see, you feel like you've played your brains out today and you're only up 3. And this team has shot 57% from the field and still only has a 3-point lead.
Calvin Christian has got Rob Veldhouse on the bench. They called the timeout. He's rested, and they're going to bring him right back into the basketball game.
71-67, 4-point difference. Now let's see if St. Mary tries to get inside with the big guy out of there. They'll start hammering away here, and they do, and that shot is good by Darrell Adams. And it's 71-69, 5 of his team's 7 by Adams in the fourth quarter.
You've got to have a lot of confidence as a junior to take a shot like that in a basketball game for the state championship, and obviously Adams has a lot of confidence.
He's got 18 points today inside. There's Bluekamp, and won't go. And Bluekamp missed in a whistle and a foul, and that'll go against Calvin Christian. Now the moment there's 2 big guys went out of there, Verbeek and Veldhouse at the same time. The Killer V's, if you will, the Killer V's. That Calvin Christian, I don't know if they've ever called themselves that, but when they went out, immediately St. Mary got right back close.
But I think that Kurt did, Tom Vanderland did an excellent job there of getting his 2 big guns some rest so they could be fresh going down the stretch here with 3:20 to go. And fatigue shouldn't be a factor in a championship basketball game, but fatigue is often the factor in the last 2 minutes in terms of who wins and loses.
Well, maybe it gets a little emotionally draining too. And here's the freshman Kylo Jones, who's had a big day. He's got 9 points.
Ice water.
I thought these kids were supposed to be scared of some of this
Ice water. Freshman, championship game, steps up there, no emotion.
I guess I'd like to be in a foxhole with him someday if I had to. I mean, this guy, he doesn't even look scared at all.
Not at all.
Just wants to be a good stroke on it, and he knocks in 2 to tie the game. Kylo Jones. I'd go into coaching if I'd had guys like that with me.
Kylo probably figures he's had bigger shots on the playgrounds down in the city.
Now we got looks like there's a cut here on the arm of Calvin Christian's John Staudt, and that means he'll have to come out of the game if the rule holds here. They'll have to have this dressed. Tom Vanderland, if that's any kind of blood at all that's exposed, he's got to have it bandaged up. Or his uniform may be torn too. That looks like a cut. There he is, right there on inside his elbow.
That's really a good rule. It's for the protection of the player that's injured and also for the other players on the floor.
Now the rule is, I believe, he has to come out though. I don't think he's allowed to stay in the game. He has to come out.
He has to come out, or that has to be covered in such a way that there's no blood exposed. If there's blood on the uniform, he has to change the uniform and then come out.
But I thought that, at least in the colleges, you had to come out, dressed a doctorate, and then you can go back in. But here they're going to wait for him to do it unless the official here is going to tell him that he has to sit down or charge him with a timeout. Now they have to take him out. I mean, that is the rule. You can't just stop the game. I was going to say, I thought I knew a little bit about this rule. And so that's what has to happen. Now they're going to let him change uniforms too. Maybe this new number will give him more confidence. He's going to switch uniforms here at the end of the bench with Matt Belima, number 42, who's only a sophomore. That's what sophomores have to do, is pay their dues on that team.
But he will not be able to come back in until the ball is put in play.
So John Staudt will wear number 42 down the stretch. 71-71 with 3:20 to play. Calvin Christian now. Al McGuire likes to say when you have a delay like this, everybody gets a little cooled off here, and there are mistakes that are made. We'll see if that theory holds true here. And it's no time for mistakes by either team. In the backcourt. And they break that. Now let's see if they get the shot they want. Calvin Christian tied at 71 with Orchard Lake St. Mary.
They have very good ball movement here. And they're really looking to get the ball right there.
With 3 guys on him, and he was triple teamed underneath, and that foul goes against Darrell Adams, his second.
You got to give Veldhouse a lot of credit. He didn't try to force anything with 2 or 3 players on him defensively. He catches the ball inside here, looks, kicks it to the weak side. Really has an opportunity to score here, but the foul was committed before the pass, as the pass was made.
All right, Greg Van Dyken goes out. Now John Staught's in wearing number 42. Well, that one kid didn't get in the game, but his jersey did.
His jersey did.
But he's a sophomore. Those are the dues you have to pay. So we're tied with 2:50 to go from the corner. That might not have been the shot they wanted, but the bounce is right. And it's pulled out of there by John Stuckey, New Jersey and all. 2:38 to play in a tie game. Inside, and that's a blocking foul. The basket will count, and it's good by Joel Bluekamp. A blue-collar move. He just went in there and took his chances, and off the bench, he's given him 9 points.
Dave Bowens really didn't have good position, and he moved his body to the right side, and it was a block, and it was a right call.
3 fouls on David Bowens, and here's Joel Bluekamp on the line, a 62% shooter. His first free throw attempt. Off the bench, 9 points. But what a tournament this guy's had. 6-man award goes to him, and he's in double figures off the bench. A 3-point play to make it 74-71. Calvin Christian.
There's still a lot of time left, Tim. Orchard Lake's got to take their time right here and try to get the ball down inside the Bowen.
An underclassman team will have to show maturity to hang in there. There's the freshman, 14, Kylo Jones, looking for the angle. For 3 to tie it, Kylo Jones!
Freshman.
14 points to tie the game for freshman Kylo Jones at the 2-minute mark.
That was a big jump shot. Kylo showed a lot of poise.
Man, oh man, only a 9th grader. He's made big points in the 4th quarter, 5 big ones to tie the game. Minute 50 left, there's the turnover. Collins is all by himself. 76-74, Orchard Lake St. Mary. The team that comes from behind, the Cardiac Eaglets, have come from behind again.
A lot of time left here. You got to tighten up on defense. The adrenaline's running after that dunk, but you've really got to work hard here on defense.
It's crucial they take the shot they want. They need the big guy. There he is for the post move, and he misses. And it's out of bounds, and it'll be Calvin Christian ball with a minute 20 to play, and Orchard Lake St. Mary up by 2.
Bowen's got his hands on that one.
There's the steal.
He gets away
inside, and the layup is up and good. And it's Kurt Koiker who got loose on the inbounds play to tie the game with a minute 10 to go. We've had a 1-point game today, a 9-point game, and this one's tied. And St. Mary says, hey, let's go ahead and pull it out.
Situation like this, team quickness is really an important factor.
If I was St. Mary Vern, I wouldn't move. As long as they're not going to challenge the ball, I would not move.
If Calvin Christian extends the defense, then speed really becomes a factor here. Calvin Christian is trying to take away any penetration, staying back, making the offense come to them.
See, if I was Calvin Christian, I'd go put some pressure on, see if I can get a turnover without fouling. But they don't control the ball. Butcher says we're going to call a timeout here, and we do with 29.1 seconds to go. We got a wild finish coming up at the Class C state championship game. 4 months of basketball has come down to 29 seconds in Class C. And you have to wonder about Calvin Christian a little bit, how tough this must be on them. They have lost 5 of the 8 games in 4 years, have been in their final game in the tournament. And here's Orchard Lake St. Mary, 20 down in the regional final, 17 down yesterday. They were down 4 in the 4th quarter today and just started pounding away. They've got so many heroes, I wouldn't know where to start.
Every one of the kids that have been in the basketball game has come up big for Orchard Lake. And you can say the same thing about Calvin Christian.
Well, listen here to Tom Vanderlaan.
Super job down there. Down there. We need a good stop. One good defensive stop. Hey, relax. Play with your feet. Don't reach. Get us a steal, baby. Get us a steal.
Ball game, hold on. Win the ball game here. We have to take a shot with 1 second. We do not want to give an opportunity at all to score. All right? So it's got to be a shot with 1 second to go. All right? Let's go. I want another timeout after we get in. But hey, here. Come on. 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Team. Let's go, Phil.
Tom Vanderlaan wants his team to play tough, just get one defensive stop, no fouls, pressure on the shot.
He's not asking for a lot. He wants his guys to be calm. He wants a steal and no fouls.
No foul.
That's not asking for very much.
Against a very quick basketball team.
As you heard, all that Dennis Butcher wants is a shot that ends the regulation play one way or the other. He does not want Calvin Christian to touch the ball on offense here in these last 29 seconds. So let's see if his underclass kids can do it. They've got no seniors on the floor for Orchard Lake St. Mary.
They've got the basketball in the right player's hands right here. Although he's a freshman, Kylo Jones is awfully tough.
Kylo Jones is the freshman at the top. And they're going to call another timeout with 8 seconds to play. Calvin Christian's made it a little easy on him not to turn it over. So we're down to 8 ticks. Well, Vern, we went through this morning with a tremendous finish, and if you joined us late, that was St. Clair Shores Lakeshore escaping with a 38-37 win over East Grand Rapids. Here's the Brain Trust, Dennis Butcher and his assistant coaches at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. They've won 3 state titles in the past.
Well, Dennis has got a lot of weapons he can use. He can use Kylo Jones on the perimeter. Ask the other kids to spread the floor, let Kylo take the basketball hard to the hoop, try to drive the foul, or he can try to get the ball down low to Bowens. And right here, we're looking at him in the huddle.
This guy in the ball, I want Aaron Miller. I put you here, right? Who I got left? Kylo Jones right here, all right? I want you to back pick right here, Diallo. Back pick right here, Aaron Miller. Okay, Aaron Miller, you're going to turn and screen for Diallo's man. Kylo, you're going down. David, you have to go and set yourself in an offensive rebounding position, all right? Diallo, come off the screen, receive the ball, and I want you to attack the basket on one side. I want you to ball fake, attack the basket. If your Dave Mans steps off right here, you pitch off to him for a layup. David, you got to get an offensive rebounding position, all right? Let's go, team. Come on, baby, let's go.
They're going to send Diallo Jones to the hole, but just as importantly, they're going to ask David Bowens to get offensive rebounding position, and if David Mann goes to help, then Diallo's just going to drop it off inside. That's all presupposing that they can get the basketball in bounds.
So here's the pressure cooker. It's down to 8.6 seconds in the Class C season. There's one step accomplished. The ball's inbounded. They could have called a foul. It's stolen away. At the buzzer, we got overtime. And as I said, this could have been a situation whereby they could have called a foul, but no foul was called, and maybe just as well, Vern, because they can let the kids settle it in overtime. We had a lot of strategy and a lot of excitement, and we've established absolutely nothing. We're going to overtime in the Class C state championship game. Don't go away. This is the MHSAA on pass. Tim Staudt with Vernon Payne. This will be the first Class C championship game overtime since 1929 when Harbor Springs beat Flint St. Michael 25-20. So a little history here from 1929 to 94. 65 years was the spread, and Calvin Christian on the 3-minute clock will have it. Each team gets one timeout, and we're tied at 76. And right away, Verbeek goes in and he's fouled.
Tim, it's fitting that this game going to overtime because both of these basketball teams have really played well. They've played their games, they've played very, very hard, and we have an overtime. And I think that's the way this game should be.
Well, that's 4 fouls now on David Bowen. So here's Pat Verbeek on the line. He has 15 points today, 10 in the first half. He's a 65% free thrower. And that's his first attempt today from the line, and Calvin Christian is back on top. So with a minute to go, St. Mary elected to go ahead and freeze it out and try for one. They didn't quite make it. 1-point game, loose on the floor. It's saved by Calvin Christian. A little bonus rebound there by Bellas. 3-pointer by Quaker. Quaker with a big 3-pointer, and now quickly it's a 4-point Calvin Christian lead.
Parker again sitting out on the perimeter and got the kick out and knock down a big 3-pointer.
Kylo Jones is fouled. He'll shoot 2. Boy, the little freshman says, I don't care how old I am, I'm going in because I can beat my man. And he drew a foul from John Stuckey, and that's his 4th foul. Dennis Butcher implores his kids to hang in there. Kylo Jones on the line is 2 for 3 from that line today. 14 points, 5 in the 4th quarter. He had 2 big free throws and a big 3-pointer. They were down 74-71, and he tied it.
Yes, he did. No problem.
2:33 to play. That cuts it to 3. Tom Vanderlaan may have lost a few more strands of hair since this started. You just joined us. We're in overtime of the Class C title game. Grand Rapids Calvin Christian by 2 over Orchard Lake St. Mary. And there's the turnover. Boy, that was not forced either.
No, it was not. But credit Orchard Lake St. Mary's for going to a pressure full court defense.
Kylo Jones for 3.
That was 3 feet outside of the 19-foot line.
And quickly it's 81-80 the Eaglets. 19 points for freshman Kylo Jones, a turnover on Calvin Christian, their 19th today, and Tom Vanderlaan wants a timeout. With 2:10 to play, Calvin Christian has seen a 4-point lead evaporate. 5 straight for the Eaglets. They'll have the basketball when we return to action. So Calvin Christian again has got to devise something to retain the lead.
Calvin Christian in these kinds of situations has always looked to break the defense down with good basketball movement, good player movement. They'll really work hard to post up. Rob Veldhuis here in this situation, and if he can't get the ball on the ball side of the floor, they'll reverse it and try to catch him coming back on the help side. There's the freshman.
This guy made some big hoops down the stretch or what? And again, he's a 9th grader. That gets to be old news, but you keep saying, I mean, the guy is a 9th grader.
He's a 9th grader. He's right out of middle school, I think.
I mean, that's what freshman teams are for. Well, let's listen in here.
Because we're going 4. I want the ball in your hands. Yale Johnson, I want you in the middle of the floor. Kylo Jones on a wing. And I want Daryl Adams on a wing. And I want David and Aaron down low. We're in 4. If they sag back, we'll hold the ball forever and make them go. Let's go. Hey, rock them. I know. I want him on 54. You got 44. Yeah. He's going to go at you. All right. You guys all set?
Yes.
Hey, we score or we miss. We're the head defense. No timeouts left. 1, 2, 3.
This telecast is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and PASS. No reproduction of the pictures or accounts of this game may take place without the express written permission of the MHSAA and PASS.
Orchard Lake St. Mary's, Tim, in this situation, they're going to spread the floor, hold the basketball, and try to force Calvin Christian to come out and play defense against their quickness.
81-80. There's some kids on each bench chewing their fingernails right now, and you can understand why. We're at the 2-minute mark to go into overtime. That ball's kicked, and they'll try it again. You heard Dennis Butcher say, hey, if they don't come out, we'll just go ahead and just wait them out, and we'll shoot free throws.
And Calvin Christian is coming out. Looks like they're going to apply some half-court pressure here.
It's been a well-coached, well-played game by both clubs today. And once again, the cliche holds here. It's a shame someone's got to lose this. Maybe the tie would have been the best. But nonetheless, we're going to have a champion. Inside, there's the layup, and it won't go. That was a tough one, and yet St. Mary gets it back. And that's got to be frustrating for Daryl Adams. He couldn't get an easier shot, and now there's the foul outside at a minute 38.
And they fouled the freshman.
Yeah, there's just one problem. He's playing like a senior in college. Bluekamp now has 3 fouls. That's the problem. This is not the guy they want to see. This guy's turning into be a pest if you're a Calvin Christian fan. A good look at kids from a good shot there.
Sometimes the scouting report can hurt you, when the scouting report says, hey, go after the freshman in these situations.
Pulled down by Rob Veldhuis, a 1-point game. Calvin Christian, what do you think, Vern? Up the tempo here or hang on?
They've got to attack. They have got to attack. Now I look for them to try to go down low to Veldhuis.
Well, they haven't found him in the last 6 minutes. He has 29, but hadn't scored in a while. Down here's Quaker down the middle. That's rejected.
Big block. Kylo Johnson came up with a big block.
Minute 13 to go. A 1-point game. Orchard Lake St. Mary. Inside, they got a man. They spring him in. It's gone. And it's Aaron Miller. Only a 6th point of the day, and now it's a 3-point lead. We're inside a minute to go.
3-point lead.
They're looking for Veldhuis. And while they can't find him, they retain it. 3-pointer to tie the game. Yes! It's outside and up and good by Kurt Keeker. Again, Quaker has 3 3-pointers that were tied with 43 seconds to go in overtime. Where did that come from?
We're right back at ground zero. 83-80, 30 seconds to go.
18 for Quaker today, 30 seconds to play. The game is tied. Look for a timeout, likely by Butcher again. He wants the ball out at midcourt. You can see him at the top of your screen directing the traffic. This is as well played a game as I've seen in a long time, and I followed this tournament for more than 25 years. And they'll get ready maybe for the timeout here.
Diallo's going to attack the basket. There won't be a timeout.
Maybe that is the strategy, and he is fouled. And that's the foul he wanted with 6.6 seconds to play. They just said, let's let our speed go against your speed. And the foul goes against, we'll get it here. I think it's the
number
big
30.
kid. Hop?
Ben Verbeek.
Oh, Verbeek gets it. Okay, that's his second. And now is it a shooting foul? That's the big key. Is it 2 shots or 1 and 1? As Tom Vanderlaan looks on, let's see what the official rules here. 2 shots. So this can break the tie, and on the line here is Diallo Johnson, a 61% free thrower, and they're going to ice him down a little bit. He is 3 for 6 from the line today. And Diallo Johnson, when we resume play, will have 2 shots with 6.6 seconds to play. Now, they tacked on an extra timeout to everybody, so now each of them has 1 timeout left. The possession arrow was in the Orchard Lake St. Mary direction, so that's their advantage. 83-83. Tim Staudt with Vernon Payne here at the Jack Breslin Student Event Center. A great 3-day weekend here in East Lansing for the Michigan High School Basketball Championships. This is our first Class C overtime game since 1929, and unless the score changes, we're going back further to the last second double overtime game. Let's go back in the huddle here and listen to the strategy.
Force them to go to the ball, so they have to go the full length of the floor to score, all right? After you make both free throws, I want a timeout, all right? Even if you miss the first and make the second, I still want a timeout.
After you make the second,
all right?
After you make the first, tell them after you want a timeout after you make it.
We want a timeout after he makes the second one, all right? Let him know.
Right.
Any questions?
Let's go.
Let's go, team. 1, 2, 3, team.
This is Dad of everyone.
And he's doing a great job. They expect for Diallo to make both free throws. After he makes the second free throw, they're going to call a timeout so that Calvin Christian can't quick up the basketball and get something in transition.
You know, when you show your kids you're not overly emotional, they kind of follow along, and Tom Vanderlaan has been exactly the same way, but you can see the agony in the coach's eyes. I mean, this guy's come so close so many times. 97 and 80 doesn't have a state championship to show for that, and he may or may not have one today. It's hard to tell. Here we go. Darrell Adams is on the line. Diallo Johnson is on the line for 2. Well, we had a 1-point game in the last 5 seconds of the B final. There will be a timeout, as you heard, if he makes the second one. And there may be a timeout if he misses. It just depends on who calls it.
6 ticks on the clock. There's a lot of time left.
Calvin Christian to win the game! And they win it at the buzzer! Unbelievable! Calvin Christian wins it at the buzzer! Ben Verbeek at the buzzer! Unbelievable!
They take the ball the distance. 6.6 seconds on the clock. They do what they've done all game long. They run out on the miss, make the pass for the easy layup, win the game by 2 points.
The Class C state champions. It was decided on this play. We'll be back. You're watching the MHS.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the presentation of the championship trophy and medals, let's acknowledge these 2 fine teams for their achievements this year and their play here today. Orchard Lake St. Mary and Grandville Calvin Christian. At this time, we direct your attention to center court, where Brian Callahan, Superintendent of Grandville Public Schools and President of the Michigan High School Athletic Association Representative Council, will make the award presentations. First, let us honor the runner-up in Class C, the Eaglets of Orchard Lake St. Mary. First, we will present individual medals. Number 10, Joshua Polovich. Number 11, Chad Abul. 20, T.J. Zwicky. 30, Kyle Baldwin. 32, Aaron Miller. 33, Tim Harrington. 42, Tom Nash. And number 50, Brett Holling. Number 4, David Bowens. Number 5, Diallo Johnson. Number 14, Tylo Jones. Number 22, Neil Parker. And 23, Daryl Adams. And accepting the runner-up trophy in Class C, Coach Dennis Butcher. Congratulations to the Eaglets of Orchard Lake St. Mary on an outstanding season. And now for the 1994 Michigan High School Athletic Association Class C champions, the Squires of Grandville Calvin Christian. First, we will present the individual medals. Number 10, Kevin Timmermans. Number 12, Jason Bruni. Number 14, Steve Herringa. Number 20, Joel Bluekamp. Number 22, Rob Grotheis. 34, Keith Korhorn. 40, Mike Mott. 42, Matt Bolima. 50, Matt Cortman. 50, Nate Bunning. That's 52. 24, Greg Van Dyken. 30, Ben Verbeek. 32 and 42, John Stuckey. 44, Rob Veldhaus. And 54, Kurt Quaker. And now, for the 1994 Michigan High School Athletic Association Class C champions, to accept the trophy, head coach Tom Vanderlaan. Congratulations to the Squires of Grandville Calvin Christian, the 1994 Class C State of Michigan boys basketball champions.
School career, Pat Verbeek. He hits this one to win it. It's one of the great plays in the history of the state tournament. We'll talk with the winners and have more post-game activity in a moment. One of your network sponsors is True Value Hardware.
The players on both teams have had the privilege of playing in one of the truly great games in MHSAA boys basketball championship history. 85-83 in overtime. The sting probably hurts awful bad for Orchard Lake St. Mary right now, but those gentlemen played a fantastic game, and as we said, they were a part of an historic game. Right now, we're going to go courtside as Tim Staudt, Vernon Payne have happy coaches and players from Calvin Christian.
Okay, Rick, Tom Vanderlaan and his heroes are here with us. I told Tom a moment ago, you're sitting on the bench and they're shooting 2 free throws and you're agonized. We have a shot, you just going through your hair and all that. And then they miss 2 and you come down and you win it. The difference between total despair and elation is just incredible.
It's not very long, is it? 6.6 seconds. We knew what we wanted to do out of that situation. We have a quick up we run all the time, and that's why we didn't want to call a timeout. And the guys ran it to perfection, and it couldn't end any better than that, Tim.
You told me that there was you were not going to call timeout. You have a play that you've practiced off that, so I guess practice makes perfect.
Yeah, we've done that play a lot of times, and we didn't want to give them the chance to set up their defense. And we knew what we wanted to do, and when he did it, and it worked.
You know, this is going to go down as one of the great games in Class C history. That play will be shown over and over again. You must have a special feeling because these kids are almost all seniors to go through. They've what 97 and 8 or something coming in here and to cap it off with a win like that.
It couldn't happen to a better bunch of kids. They've had a great 3-year career, some of them, and what a great season, what a great way to end it for the seniors and for everybody.
One last thing, Coach. Over here, this Dennis Butcher, he's got all those underclassmen. His freshman steps up there, makes all those big shots. I mean, they just pushed you as hard as they could push you.
That's the one whale of a ball club. You know, that freshman kept coming up. He stepped to the line, and my assistant said, he's bound to miss one. I said, that's one tough freshman. I knew he wasn't going to miss any of them.
Okay, well, congratulations to you and Grandville Calvin. I don't know if there's anybody left in town because I've never seen such a huge following for a Class C game.
Our people are great, aren't they?
Okay, good. Thanks, Coach. Nice to have you. Vern, show us the heroes.
I've got Rob Feldhaus with me and Ben Verbeek. Rob, you scored 29 points tonight. You did not only play well late, you played well early. But I thought your teammates got you the ball every time you got down low.
Oh yeah, they did a great job. I mean, our team is a team that everybody can step up at different times, and I guess tonight was my turn, and everybody else did a heck of a job. And Ben did great, Staudt and Blue did great. It was a whole team thing. Greg, yeah, everybody can step up on our team. That's what makes it so fun.
Verbeek, on that last play, I know you guys didn't want to call a timeout, and I've watched you guys run that quick up a dozen or so times during the course of the game. What were you thinking when you took off?
I had no idea. Coach just said get the ball up as soon as possible, and he got it up. And when it was either to me or Blue, and Blue got it, and man went to him, and I was wide open. There it was.
Last play of your high school career, a shot to win a state championship.
It's great. I never had a shot to win a game before. It's a good way to end it up.
Congratulations, man.
Well, he's going to go down in high school history, the answer to a trivia question. I mean, what a way to end your high school career at the buzzer in overtime to give your team its first ever Class C championship. And for Orchard Lake St. Mary, there will be another day. They're all underclassmen.
They only had one senior on the floor there, and they're all underclassmen. The freshmen played outstanding basketball for them. Unfortunately, 6.6 seconds on the clock. They missed a couple foul shots and lose the basketball
game. And we
game.
had just so many heroes out here. Well, we had 2 good ones today, partner.
2 great games, 2 exciting games. That's what Michigan high school basketball is all about.
It's just fabulous every year. It don't get no better than that. That's the story from the floor. Now let's go back to Rick.
Okay, Tim and Vern, nice job, and enjoyed working with you today as well. And 3 great games down, but hey, we're not done. Our basketball coverage here on Pass continues tonight with the Class A finale between Detroit Pershing and Detroit Murray Wright at 8 o'clock. Now your Class C champion is Calvin Christian, an 85-83 winner over Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Now for Tim Staudt, Vernon Payne, Marshall Thomas, and our production crew from TCI Cablevision in Oakland County, I'm Rick Berkey. So long, everybody.
Today's broadcast of the MHSAA Finals is made possible by Farm Bureau Insurance, sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award. True Value Hardware, promoting good sportsmanship through the Good Sports Are Winners program.